feature fantastic people and programs and really agencies that are uplifting Milwaukee, making our lives, our communities, our families better and stronger. And I have as my special guest this afternoon, Dr. Eve Hall of the Greater Milwaukee Urban League. Thank you for joining me this afternoon, Dr. Hall.
Thank you for having me.
You are I know that you're immersed in a lot of different things and you do so much for Milwaukee, but a lot of people have heard of the word Urban League, but they may not be totally familiar as to what you do. Can you share with our viewers this afternoon exactly what the Greater Milwaukee Urban League does?
Absolutely. Thank you, Carol. It's funny because one of the things that I try to do is explain who we are because so often we are only associated with hosting this fantastic black and white ball, which is fantastic,
Right.
but it's for a purpose. It is to raise funding to support our programs and services. So we are an urban advocacy / social service agency that has been around since 1919. We originated, Carol, as the organization that really welcomed and supported African American individuals and families that moved from the South to the North for a better quality of life and opportunity. And so, what we did as an urban league and continue to do is support employment, education, quality housing, health, entrepreneurship. Those are really our key areas. We continue to focus on those areas today. In fact, in education, we are actually partnered with 9 schools where we provide mentoring, we provide STEM opportunities, academic support, digital literacy. Also financial literacy. We just awarded about 44 laptops at a recent ceremony and another 15 over time to some other individuals and organizations. We provide driver's license education, driver's permit, quite frankly. Since the fall, we've probably worked with about 300 individuals through virtual driver's education. Employment, we've placed about 106 individuals so far in jobs, and we're actually going to be expanding and deepening our impact by focusing on high demand industries that are really looking for more diverse talent. Those industries being healthcare, manufacturing, technology, hospitality, career, and trades. So that's a way that we are going to be increasing our impact. Advocacy is our other area. So in advocacy, we are focused on health equity, home ownership, and voter education and outreach. So those are our 3 pillars: our education, employment, and advocacy. In general, we are a voice for our community. We look to empower, we look to uplift, we look for, positive things that our community is doing and trying to highlight that, help individuals to truly identify what they want to do and give them the supports to do them, whether it's a child in elementary, middle, or high school, or an adult who's trying to get back on track or just finding other opportunities or just needs a network to connect to.
Well, Dr. Hall, you are such an important resource for the Milwaukee community and for people, families who need help or may want to get some kind of connections. And what I really like about the Urban League is that you're focusing really on the broad community. It's not just one area. And that's something that we really need. As you know, we've got a lot of challenges right now. And looking at your Facebook page, I see that you're at Homer Blow's party. You had you were
Correct.
with you've done work with reckless driving. You're at Juneteenth, and I think these are the kind of things that we need to make our neighborhoods stronger. What do you think the importance of this impact is in terms of the future of Milwaukee, Dr. Hall?
Well, what we pride ourselves in as an urban league is understanding that collective efforts are so important and that working across, race, gender, religion, that's what it's going to take to continue to address the social ills and the equity gaps. We changed our name, Carol, to Greater Milwaukee Urban League back in the fall, back in 2021 now. And we did that purposefully. purposefully because we know that 40% of the jobs are located outside of Milwaukee. They are in other counties. And while we focus on filling jobs in Milwaukee, we know that we live all over and that there are opportunities outside the city. And so it was really a symbolic move in terms of saying we collaborate not only in the city of Milwaukee, but in the greater Milwaukee area. And it's not unusual to hear the word greater when it comes to urban leagues around the country. So, we're just working on expanding our presence. And when people see us, that they know we are inclusive.
Yes, and you're so steeped in Milwaukee history, and I think it's important that, and we have to remember that jobs and opportunities are all over. They're not just in the city, and we have to make sure we point that out. Now, Dr. Hull, I imagine that now we touched on this when saw you at Juneteenth, and you were telling me all the different support that your organization and your board gets from the different businesses in the Milwaukee area and agencies. Can you just give us an idea of how important and how crucial that support is, and give us and give a shout out to some of these organizations and companies?
Absolutely. Now, I'm taking a chance when I do that. So I just
Oh,
want to say in
I know you
advance
can't
to
do
my
everything.
board,
Yes.
to my board of directors who are huge in this community and other supporters. If I leave you out, you know who you are. But, we are so fortunate and blessed to have a very strong board. Northwestern Mutual, Enterprise Holdings, Freighter, Medical College of Wisconsin, Foley and Lardner, Associated Bank, BMO. Those are just a few of the organizations. Rockwell, We Energies. But these are companies who are committed to our mission. They work very hard to help us raise the funding necessary for our continued operations and sustainability. And they also provide the human resources that we need, or the expertise and the technical assistance that we need as we grow. So, that has been, I think, a steeple for us really as an urban league historically. That has been the tradition of the Urban League since the founding, even in New York, that we would have corporations and huge companies to be a part of our board, because we know that we need their support and we need their leadership when it comes to employment and social justice issues, which I think, when we look back at the George Floyd situation, the way so many corporations and companies stepped up to say how important social justice is, and how they began to contribute even more funding to support organizations like ourselves. We also support, and even though we aren't doing anything directly at this particular moment, our small businesses, the many entrepreneurs, especially African American and other entrepreneurs. They are so important to the vitality of our community as well. And we should be very proud of the many entrepreneurs of color that are making a difference. And so, as we continue to grow, we also want to do more with our entrepreneurs in terms of helping them with their employment needs, as well as just any other technical assistance that they may need, as we collaborate with the chambers and other entities.
Yeah, this collaboration is so important. And I just want to say, if you are just joining us, this is Lunch with Carole. We do this every Wednesday or every other Wednesday right now. And this is Dr. Eve Hall. She is the CEO and president of the Greater Milwaukee Urban League. And she's here just telling us about what the Urban League means to Milwaukee and what it does. Dr. Hall, I look at some of you're right. You say a lot of people do think of you and think of the black and white ball, but there's so much more. And if people are at home and maybe they want to find out more services that are available, or they're interested in employment or entrepreneurship or that sort of thing, how do they reach someone at the Greater Milwaukee Urban League?
Well, we're very easy. 374-5850 is our number, 414. And we have a website, and you can look at the different programs and also obtain the contact information that way. So www.tmul.org is another way. So, and then we're out in the community. We're easy to find. We also have two auxiliaries. I meant to say our guild and our young professionals. So, so that's another way to connect along with our programs and services.
Yeah, it's very easy. And I just want to let people know that you can get a lot of information and meet some great people people as well, movers and shakers like Dr. Hall. And Dr. Hall, I know that you are also the chair, the board chair of Visit Milwaukee, and you have a meeting later this afternoon. So
I do. I
you,
do. But I'm excited. I'm so proud to be, the chair of that board. Again, some phenomenal business leaders that are part of that board. I think they have a great president and CEO who's doing some great things. And, we Visit Milwaukee again. That's key to our economy, to employment.
absolutely.
So being a part of that and understanding how we continue to bring people into this city through tourism and conferences and conventions, because we know in the end that also means jobs for our community. So that ties right in with the mission of the Greater Milwaukee Urban League. And if I could just give a plug, I do have to say black and white ball, because that is huge for us
Yes.
in terms of bringing this community together. Last year, we had about 700 attendees. We're looking to be at 800, 900 this year as we slowly but surely get back to almost 1,200 attendees.
Finally, after COVID.
Yes, with COVID,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, we've gone to where we had a totally virtual ball, and people had a ball at the ball, right? To that next year, last year, not being bad, we slowly but surely came back. We did require vaccinations. We're doing that again this year, but it is Saturday, November 5th. So
Okay.
we're excited. Our co-chairs, actually, just to give people an idea, Thelma Sias and her husband Steve Adams, and Dr. Joseph Kirshner and his wife Jane, who are from the medical college, and the medical college is on the board. So those are our community co-chairs. You'll hear soon who our presenting corporate sponsor will be.
Well, that's wonderful. And it brings Milwaukee together. And it's
It
always
does.
such an important event. And not only that, it raises money it helps our youth, our families, and our neighborhoods. It just makes everything stronger. And
That's
Dr.
right.
Hall, I know it has to be rewarding to know that you're actually part of this positive wave of showing people the good in Milwaukee. I know uh, we see news that is, and there are some challenges, and there's
Yes.
are negative things, but we have to remember that most of the things that are occurring in our area are wonderful, and most of the people are wonderful. But
And
some,
that's what we try to hone in on. No, absolutely. I completely agree, because we can drown in these sorrows.
yes,
But, in the end, there's always so much better than there is that's bad. There's more good than bad. There are people that are very interested in making a difference in this community, who are taking leadership roles. There are people who are working hard every day to raise their families. We have students who, want to do well in school and are doing well in school. So, that's what we want to promote. That's what we want to celebrate. And really, when we speak about the ball, it was started 37 years ago as a way to
yeah,
bring blacks and whites together in a setting where we could engage in fun dialogue, but also have a moment to pause and look at the very critical issues occurring, but also identify how, if we work together, we can continue to move the city forward. So it's a energizing time. It's one of my favorite times, just because there's a certain aura at that ball, because you have such a diverse, it is like the most diverse event in this city, quite frankly.
yeah, and the synergy is phenomenal,
It
and
is.
so many different people from all walks of life coming together for really, and it's basically about humanity. So it's a
That's right.
beautiful
That's
thing.
what it is.
Well, we're lucky we have you at the helm, Dr. Hall, to help
Thank you. It's an
you are
honor.
such a gem for Milwaukee, and anybody who knows you knows all of the work that you do, and how you're really just a true role model for all of us, really, of how we need to present Milwaukee. So bless you. And I know I don't want to take up too much time, but thank you so, because I know you've got another board meeting to go to. But it's got to be rewarding to be able to see the brighter side,
It
the
is.
side
It is.
of
It
Milwaukee.
is. And thank you for what you do, Carol, because, just the positively Milwaukee, you've always been one to try to bring the sunshine of our city to play. So we need individuals like yourself to continue to bring the great news stories and give us the opportunities to tell them. So thank you.
I appreciate that. And I'm lucky to work at a station that makes an emphasis on that. And that's very serious all across the board here at TMJ4. So
Yes.
it's a blessing. So, well, I am so excited to talk to you. I know you've got a lot planned, but Dr. Hall, continue the good work, continuing making our neighborhoods stronger, our families better, and Milwaukee great, because we know it is. So,
Thank
anytime you want to come over and visit, we're here for you.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Dr. Hall. And
All
thank all
right.
of you for watching us for Lunch with Carole. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks with another fantastic Lunch with Carole. Have a great week.